Hello guys, this is WunderTrading and we're carrying on with our weekly Bitcoin price analysis. You can see in front of you the weekly chart on Bitfinex, and we're doing this on a weekly chart because we're currently in July, so we can analyze the previous bar, and the previous bar is a doji bar right on the top of the upward trend, which based on the price action can signal that we will start the short retracement. A very similar bar was actually here on the 5th of February, and then after the doji bar we will actually having a retracement upwards. So we're expecting something similar to see a short-term retracement based on a weekly chart. We can actually put the Fibonacci level as well to see that from the bottom to the top of that movement that we saw in the previous 2.5 months, the 50% of Fibonacci will be around 8,500, and this is where I would expect the price actually would go to have a healthy retracement. Also, I wanted to point out the amount of volume. On Bitfinex, you don't see that the volume is actually higher than when it was in the buying area in November. But if we go to the other exchanges, for example, we can go to Coinbase, you will see that it's exactly the same structure in terms of the price action, but the actual volume is much higher in comparison to the buy region when it was in November. We can also go to the Binance exchange, and we can see it here as well, and I'll remove all the drawings for now. So it's exactly the same story, that the volume is extremely high in the past week, and it was very similar to the volume in November. So if we go into the daily bars, we can also see the bearish engulfing, which is based on the price action, a signal to the downward movement. And now we'll switch on all our drawings so you can clearly see where we're aiming to in terms of the price movement. So currently we're going in the downward trend. I will also switch on all the trading chaos indicators, and I will explain them a little bit later what's going on in terms of the trading chaos approach. So we can currently see that we formed a lower high in comparison to the previous high, so which means that we're sort of going into a downward movement. We can see the double bottom here, so we're currently in this triangle which will break shortly. The volume is slightly decreasing, which means that the spike, the movement either downward or upward, will be quite quick, so the acceleration will be increased. In terms of the trading chaos approach, we're currently below the alligator indicator, which also supports the downward movement. The AO indicator is crossed from the positive to a negative, and we're carrying on with the decrease of the AO indicator. We're approaching the second gap based on the futures market, which is between the 10,000 and 10,600. However, if you look at the historical prices, the support of 10,000 is more psychological rather than the actual price supports this. So I believe that we're gonna actually go down beyond the 10,000, and the time where we can see the nearest support will be around 9,000, 9,500. So this is the area where we can expect some stronger support. If we look at the moving averages, which would be quite useful for us as well, based on the daily chart, we can see that the price haven't even reached the 25 moving average, which is the first supporting line on the downward movement. And again, if we draw the Fibonacci retracement from the bottom to the very top, this will be around 0.38 of Fibonacci retracement, and this is the first crucial stop during this retracement phase. So concluding our analysis for today, we can see that there are several indicators and signals which specifically tells us that the price is correcting at this particular moment, and we should see throughout this week a further correction down towards the area of 9,700, 9,500. It depends on the exchange. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you next week.